Hey guys. Hey, so I apologize for the craziness that you had the past 2 days with these ancient China notes and talking about politics here. It was easier after I recorded the videos and was uploading it. It was just easier to break it up into two sections. So I know it seems kind of funny, and I maybe say some things that don't quite make sense at the ends and beginnings of my videos. But just kind of ignore those. Hopefully you were able to get all the major notes that you needed and you appreciated having a little bit of extra break. If I had kept those two videos, the one for Tuesday and one for Wednesday together, you would have had quite the time. So it was going to be like an 18-minute long video. So I tried to shorten them for you, made it into two sessions over 2 days. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. We are going to pick up here with the last major dynasty, the Han Dynasty. The Han Dynasty picked up not long after the end of the Qin Dynasty. So about 4 years after the Qin Dynasty, we see the Han Dynasty pick up here in 202 BCE. My pen's off. I did it again. 202 BCE. And they continue all the way to 220 CE. So they continue for about 400 years. I know that this doesn't look like 400 years, but you have to remember kind of like a number line. So we have 200 to 0, and then 0 to 200. So we have 200 BCE to 0, and then we have from 0 to 220 CE. So that's about 400 years there. Not as long as the Zhou Dynasty was in power, but definitely for a long time, much longer than the Qin Dynasty was in power, that's for sure. So they had two very important leaders here. We had Emperor Han, and we have Emperor Wu. So I know we had a King Wu earlier, but now we have Emperor Wu. Different person. They lived very different lives. One of them was very much dead by the time this emperor came around. So we had two very important leaders here. We couldn't pick just one, just because of the achievements and stuff that happened. So the Han Dynasty here, when we had Emperor Han in power, he moved the capital to Chanyang, which was the renamed Xi'an capital that we saw in the Zhou Dynasty. So I talked about back in the Zhou video how we were going to see that capital pop up again, and here's where we see it pop up again. They renamed the city Chanyang, and so it became the capital again. Capital came back. It's been bouncing around. Here we are again. Emperor Han threw out the harsh policies of the Qin Dynasty. He did not believe in those harsh policies at all, so he threw them out when he came into power. He was not nearly as severe and harsh as the Qin Huangdi was before him. So Emperor Wu then, when he came into power later on, he established Confucianism as the state religion. So he said, this is the religion of the Han Dynasty, Confucianism. Okay? And he encouraged people outside the family to hold government positions. So he encouraged people outside the family, other people than them were in his immediate group, to hold these positions. Regular people could now hold government positions when they couldn't before. So this was a very important move that we see happen from Emperor Wu. Anyway, kind of rhymes. Moving on, erasing. Some achievements here that came out of the Han Dynasty. We see the creation of the Silk Road. And we're going to talk about the Silk Road more when we get into politics here later on. But talking about the creation of this Silk Road came in this Han Dynasty. We've mentioned it before a little bit. You're going to see it more. You're eventually going to do a reading on it later for homework. But the creation of the Silk Road happened here in the Han Dynasty. Other major creations or inventions that came out of the Han Dynasty were steel, paper, acupuncture, and advanced sea travel. These things all happened in the Han Dynasty. Of course, there were other inventions too. These are the major ones that we see come out of it, though. Now, the Han Dynasty ended because of some fighting that happened within his family. So the Han Dynasty was kind of known for their family drama. Like, I'm thinking that, like, if there were reality TV shows at the time of the Han Dynasty, like, they would have their own, like a Keeping Up with the Kardashians kind of thing. There was a lot of fighting and drama that kind of happened within the family. So a series of civil wars within the family and religious rebellions led to the end of the Han Dynasty. So some fighting within the family, and then there were these random like cult groups that started rebelling against Confucianism, and so this kind of led to the end of the Han Dynasty. They just weren't able to recover after all of this. It was kind of like that perfect storm between the fighting in the family and the fighting outside the walls. They just couldn't keep up. Now we see the Han Dynasty here has grown tremendously from what we saw in the Qin Dynasty before it. They had lots more growth here. They've expanded their borders. You can really even see here on this picture that black kind of faded line at the top. It's like kind of right here. Okay, that's actually where the Great Wall of China sat. The Han Dynasty continued to build on the Great Wall of China that was started in the Qin Dynasty. So we can kind of see how it's been expanded here. This picture here on the right is more writing. It's kind of the more standardized version of Chinese on what would have been ancient Chinese paper. It's a really cool picture here. It shows you what that would have looked like. Their writing goes up and down. If you've ever seen Chinese writing before, their writing is up and down as opposed to us going left to right. It's really cool. I encourage you to look at it too later on if you would like. The option is there. Oops, let me delete that. All right, moving on. That's actually going to be it for our politics notes. Much shorter, well, not really all that much shorter video than the ones from before. Make sure you get your work done with this. If you have any questions, stop in and ask us. Have a great rest of your day, guys.